Whether you're commuting on the M25, cruising through the Irish countryside, or just looking for your next reliable daily driver, the right engine makes all the difference. In this video, we're breaking down the best powerful diesel and petrol cars currently available in the UK and Irish market. 4 strong diesel options for those who want torque, efficiency, and long-distance capability, and 4 high-performance petrol choices for drivers who want real driving excitement. We're looking at real-world performance, reliability, running costs, and how each car fits into everyday UK and Irish driving conditions. Let's get into it. Diesel engines have had a complicated few years in the UK, between emissions regulations and the shift toward electrification. But for high-mileage drivers, fleet users, or anyone regularly doing long motorway runs, a modern diesel still makes a compelling case. Here are 4 that stand out right now. BMW 320d. First up, the BMW 320d. And honestly, if you're looking for one car that does everything well, this might be it. Under the bonnet, you have BMW's 2.0-liter 4-cylinder diesel, producing around 190 horsepower and, more importantly, 400 newton-meters of torque. That torque figure is what makes this car feel so effortlessly quick in real-world driving. On the motorway, it's refined and composed. Around town, the 8-speed automatic gearbox keeps things smooth, and when you need to overtake on an A road, there's always enough in reserve. Fuel economy in real-world conditions typically lands somewhere between 45 and 55 miles per gallon, impressive for a car that genuinely feels premium from the moment you sit inside. It's not cheap to buy or maintain. BMW servicing costs are a real consideration, but as a package, the 320d is one of the most well-rounded diesel saloons you can buy in this market right now. Audi A6 2.0 TDI. If the 320d is athletic, the Audi A6 2.0 TDI is something different. It's a genuine executive car that prioritizes comfort and refinement above everything else. The 2.0 TDI produces around 204 horsepower in its strongest configuration, and the car delivers it in a way that feels effortless. There's very little diesel clatter, and at motorway speeds, you could almost forget it's not a petrol engine. What makes the A6 special is the interior quality. Audi's cabin builds are among the best in the business. The materials, the layout, the digital dashboard, it genuinely feels like a car a class above its price point. Running costs are reasonable for the segment. Real-world fuel economy sits around 42 to 50 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive it. For business users, company car drivers, or anyone doing serious long-distance mileage, the A6 TDI deserves serious consideration. Land Rover Discovery Sport. Now we move into SUV territory, and the Land Rover Discovery Sport is one of the more interesting options in the diesel segment. The D200 diesel variant, a 2.0-liter unit producing around 204 horsepower, gives you a genuinely capable car that works equally well on a school run, a motorway trip, or a muddy field in the Irish Midlands. Torque output is strong at 430 newton-meters, and the all-wheel drive system is properly capable, not just a marketing feature. If you genuinely need off-road ability, this delivers it. Interior space is another strong point. 7 seats are available on certain trims, and the second row offers real adult legroom. For families, that's a significant advantage. The trade-off? Fuel economy isn't class-leading. Real-world figures tend to land in the mid-30s to low 40s per gallon, and Land Rover's reliability reputation has been inconsistent over the years. That's worth factoring into your decision. But if you want a practical, genuinely capable diesel SUV with serious road presence, the Discovery Sport earns its place on this list. Mazda CX-5 2.2 Skyactiv-D. The 4th diesel pick is perhaps the one that surprises people most, the Mazda CX-5 with the 2.2-liter Skyactiv-D engine. In a segment dominated by German brands, Mazda has quietly built one of the most satisfying diesel SUVs you can buy. The 184 horsepower variant delivers real-world pulling power, particularly in the mid-range where you spend most of your time driving. What sets Mazda apart is the build quality and reliability record. J.D. Power and What Car surveys consistently rate Mazda among the most reliable brands available, and that matters when you're buying a used example or planning to keep a car for several years. The interior is a step above most competitors in its price bracket. Genuine materials, a clear layout, and a driving feel that genuinely engages the driver. Fuel economy is competitive, typically 40 to 48 miles per gallon in mixed driving, and purchase prices are notably lower than equivalent German alternatives. If you've been overlooking Mazda, the CX-5 diesel is worth a serious look. Now for the petrol picks. For shorter journeys, urban driving, and for drivers who simply want more character and driving involvement, these four stand out. Volkswagen Golf GTI. The Volkswagen Golf GTI, a car that has been defining the hot hatch segment for nearly 5 decades, and the current generation is arguably the best one yet. The 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine produces 245 horsepower in standard form, and it delivers that power with real usability. This isn't a car you need to push to its limits to enjoy. The power comes in from low in the rev range and pulls strongly all the way through. The 7-speed DSG gearbox is slick and responsive, and in manual mode it reacts instantly to paddle shift inputs. But what makes the GTI genuinely special is the balance. It's quick enough to be genuinely exciting, it's composed enough to be genuinely comfortable, and it's practical enough to be a proper everyday car. Full 5 seats, a usable boot, sensible running costs. In the UK and Irish market, where a combination of performance and practicality is often essential, the Golf GTI makes more sense than almost any rival. Ford Focus ST. If the Golf GTI is refined and composed, the Ford Focus ST is its more raw, more aggressive counterpart. And for a certain type of driver, that's exactly what they want. The 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder produces 280 horsepower. That's a significant power advantage over the GTI in a car that weighs only marginally more. On the right road, it feels genuinely fast. The steering is sharper than the Golf, the body control is tighter, and the exhaust note, particularly at higher revs, has a character that's been deliberately engineered to reward the driver. Ford's engineers have always understood how to make a front-wheel drive car handle, and the Focus ST continues that tradition. On a flowing B road, it's one of the most satisfying drives in this segment. Practicality is decent. The estate version in particular offers serious boot space. Running costs are higher than the GTI, but if outright driving engagement is the priority, the Focus ST delivers it. Now we move into a different class entirely. The BMW M340i isn't a hot hatch, it's a performance saloon, and arguably the most complete performance car on this list. The headline figure is the engine, a 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged petrol unit producing 374 horsepower and 500 newton-meters of torque. Those numbers are genuinely impressive, and they don't tell the full story, because this engine is also one of the most smoothest, most characterful units in the current market. 0 to 60 comes up in around 4.4 seconds. It will cruise at motorway speeds while barely working, and when you want it to perform, there is simply more power on tap than you will ever reasonably use on a public road. The xDrive all-wheel drive system provides traction in all UK and Irish weather conditions, rain, cold, wet leaves on country roads. It makes the car feel planted and confidence-inspiring year-round. Inside, the quality matches the performance. The M Sport interior, the driving position, the clarity of the instrumentation, it's a car that rewards the driver at every level. It isn't cheap, but if budget permits, the M340i is a special machine. Audi S3. The final pick is the Audi S3, and it fills a very specific role on this list. It's the compact, everyday usable performance car that also happens to be genuinely quick. The 2.0-liter TFSI petrol engine produces 310 horsepower paired with Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. That combination gives you a 0 to 60 time of around 4.8 seconds in a car that looks, from the outside, like a slightly sportier A3. And that's part of the appeal. The S3 doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand attention. It's quick and capable and refined, and nobody in the car park necessarily knows what you're driving. In wet British and Irish conditions, the Quattro system is a genuine advantage. Where a front-wheel drive hot hatch might struggle for traction out of a roundabout on a cold morning, the S3 finds grip and goes. Running costs are on the higher side. Audi servicing, fuel consumption, insurance grouping, but as a daily driver that also delivers genuine performance whenever you want it, the S3 is a compelling package. So, 8 cars, 2 fuel types, and very different purposes. Here's a quick way to think about which one might suit you. If you cover high mileage and want the lowest running costs, the BMW 320d or the Mazda CX-5 diesel are your strongest options. If you need an SUV for family use with genuine capability, the Discovery Sport or the CX-5 both make strong cases depending on your budget. For everyday performance with strong practicality, the Golf GTI remains the benchmark. If raw driving engagement matters more than refinement, the Ford Focus ST will satisfy that brief more completely than anything else on this list. For genuine luxury and performance without compromise, the BMW M340i is in a class of its own. And if you want a compact, all-weather performance car that won't draw unnecessary attention, the Audi S3 with Quattro is arguably the most sensible fast car here. There's no single right answer when it comes to choosing between diesel and petrol. It comes down to how you drive, how far you travel, and what matters most behind the wheel. What we can say is that all 8 cars on this list represent the best of what their respective segments currently offer in the UK and Irish market. If you found this useful, give it a like. It genuinely helps this channel. And if there's a specific car comparison you'd like to see next, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.